Hello, dear English learners! Welcome back to another important and incredibly useful episode of our learning journey together. I'm truly happy and honestly a little excited to have you here with me today. Whether you're listening from your home, your car, your classroom, or maybe even while walking through the park, I want to say thank you for choosing to spend this time with me. Because today's topic is not just another English lesson, it's something that can make a real difference in your life. Something that can change how you learn, how you think, and even how you feel when speaking English. Yes, you guessed it. We are going to talk about fluency. More specifically, how to become fluent in English. Now, I know many of you are learning English for different reasons. Maybe you want to communicate better at work, or perhaps you dream of traveling to new places and being able to speak confidently with people from different countries. Some of you may be studying to pass an English exam, and some of you might just love the language and want to enjoy English books, movies, and conversations in their original form. Whatever your reason, I see you. I understand your goals, and I respect your effort. But there's one thing that almost every learner struggles with. One big challenge that stops people from using English with confidence. And that challenge is fluency. Fluency is not just about knowing English. It's about using English naturally, comfortably, and without too much stress. It's about speaking without overthinking. It's about listening and responding in real time. It's about connection. And that's exactly what today's episode is all about. So, let me ask you a few questions. Have you ever felt nervous when speaking English? Have you ever been in a situation where your mind goes blank and the words just won't come? Have you ever struggled to find the right word or translated every sentence in your head before you could speak? Have you ever wished you could speak like a native speaker, fast, confident, and natural? If your answer is yes to any of those questions, then this episode is for you. This is your moment. So stay with me until the end, because I'm going to share some simple, clear, and powerful tips. Tips that don't require you to live in an English-speaking country or study for hours every day. These tips will help you become a fluent speaker step by step. And let's keep things relaxed. I don't want this to feel like a class or a lecture. I want you to imagine that we are sitting in a cozy little cafe, maybe on a quiet street corner, sipping a warm cup of coffee or tea, and just talking. It's just us, two friends having a good, honest conversation about how to speak English better. No pressure, no tests, no stress. Because that's how real learning happens, in a space that feels safe and supportive. And here's something I really want you to remember. Fluency is not about being perfect. Let me say that again, because it's so important. Fluency is not about perfection. Many learners believe that in order to be fluent, they must know every complex grammar rule. They think they need to memorize hundreds of advanced vocabulary words or sound exactly like a native speaker. But that's just not true. In reality, fluency is much more about confidence and consistent practice than it is about perfection. It's about speaking even when you're not sure your grammar is perfect. It's about keeping the conversation going, even if you make a few mistakes, because fluency is about connection, not correction. Why fluency is important. So, why is fluency such a big deal? Why do we talk so much about becoming fluent? Let me give you a picture to think about. Imagine you're in a new country. You're walking through a beautiful city surrounded by people speaking English. You walk into a shop, and the shopkeeper greets you with a smile. "Hey, how can I help you today?" If you're fluent, you smile right back and say, "I'm just looking, thank you." You feel relaxed. You understand the question instantly. You respond naturally. You feel free. That's what fluency gives you. Freedom. When you are fluent in English, you can open doors that were once closed. You can make friends from all over the world. You can watch movies and understand the jokes. You can apply for international jobs or study abroad. You can express yourself fully without fear. Fluency isn't just a language skill. It's a life skill. So, in today's episode, we're going to take a journey together, a journey toward fluency. I'm going to share 5 powerful strategies that are designed to help you improve your fluency in a natural, enjoyable, and simple way. And here's the best news. You don't need a private tutor. You don't need to move to an English-speaking country. And you don't need to spend hours and hours every day studying textbooks. What you really need are the right methods and the right mindset. And I'll show you exactly what that means. So, are you ready to begin? Take a deep breath, smile a little, and let's get started. Understanding fluency. So, before we dive into the 5 strategies, let's talk for a moment about what fluency really means. What is fluency? Is it speaking English quickly? Is it using big, impressive words? Is it having perfect grammar? Well, not exactly. Fluency is the ability to speak easily and smoothly. It means your words flow. You can express your thoughts without stopping to think too much. You can keep a conversation going. You understand others, and they understand you. Fluency is not the same as accuracy. Let me explain that with a little story. Imagine a man named Roberto. He's from Brazil. He's been learning English for years. He knows grammar rules very well. He can explain the difference between the past perfect and the present perfect continuous. He even got high marks in his English exam. But when he tries to speak, he freezes. He thinks about every word. He translates in his head. He says things like, I am going to the store. Even though he knows the rules, he struggles to speak naturally. Why? Because he focused on accuracy more than fluency. Now imagine a woman named Aisha. She's from Egypt. She doesn't know all the rules. Sometimes she says he go instead of he goes. But she speaks without fear. She talks freely. She enjoys the conversation. People understand her, and they enjoy talking with her. And here's the interesting part. Because she speaks so often, she's improving her grammar too. Naturally. That's the power of fluency. It doesn't mean perfection. It means communication. It means expression. It means connection. So, if you've been judging yourself too harshly, stop. If you've been waiting until your English is perfect to speak, don't. Start now. Speak now. Practice now. And remember, you don't become fluent and then start speaking. You start speaking, and that's how you become fluent. The mindset of a fluent speaker. Now, let's talk about something just as important as speaking skills. Your mindset. Because fluency doesn't just happen with your mouth, it begins in your mind. Let me ask you, what do you believe about yourself as an English learner? Do you think, I'm not good at languages? Do you often say, my English is terrible, or I'll never be fluent? If so, it's time to change that thinking. You see, your beliefs become your reality. If you believe you can improve, you will. If you believe you're too old, too slow, or just not talented, then you will hold yourself back, even if you study hard. Let's change the story you tell yourself. Start saying things like, I'm getting better every day. I make mistakes, but I'm learning. Fluency takes time, and I'm on the right path. You don't need to be perfect. You need to keep going. Here's a little secret. Even native speakers make grammar mistakes. They forget words. They say and restart their sentences. But they don't stop. They don't feel ashamed. That's the mindset I want you to have. Think like a fluent speaker. Talk like a fluent speaker, even if it's not perfect yet. Feel like a fluent speaker, and soon you will become one. Fluency begins with believing that it's possible for you. The first strategy: think in English. All right, it's time for our first fluency strategy. This one is powerful. It's simple, and it can totally change the way you speak. Are you ready? Here it is. Start thinking in English. I know, it sounds a little strange, right? You might be thinking, but I've always translated from my language to English. How can I stop doing that? Let me explain. When you translate in your head, everything slows down. You think of a sentence in your native language. Then you try to change each word to English. Then you check the grammar. And then, maybe, you speak. But by that time, the conversation has already moved on. That's why fluent speakers don't translate. They think directly in English. And you can learn to do that too. Let's try a little exercise together. Look around you right now. Wherever you are, just look. And now, try to name things in English. For example, I see a window. The sun is shining. I have a cup of tea on the table. There's a chair. My phone is on the desk. It doesn't have to be perfect grammar. Just start describing what you see. Do this for 1 minute a day. Just 1 minute. And slowly, your brain will begin to switch. English will become more natural. You'll stop needing to translate every time you speak. And here's a bonus tip. Try talking to yourself in English during your daily routines. When you wake up, say, I'm getting out of bed. When you make breakfast, say, I'm making eggs and coffee. When you walk outside, say, it's a beautiful morning. These little moments add up. They build fluency quietly, naturally, and effectively. The more you think in English, the more fluent you become. So today, try it. Just once. 1 minute. Think in English and see what happens. The second strategy: listen first, then speak. Here's our second strategy for becoming fluent. Listen more, then speak. It might surprise you, but one of the most powerful ways to speak better is to listen more. Why? Because listening helps you absorb the rhythm, the tone, the flow of real English. Think about how babies learn to speak. Do they study grammar books? Number. Do they write essays? Not at all. They listen for months, every day. And then, when the brain is ready, they start to speak. You can do the same. When you listen to English daily, your brain starts to notice patterns. You hear how native speakers form sentences. You pick up on common phrases, natural expressions, even jokes and tone. And here's the best part. You start to use them automatically, without thinking too much. So, how can you do this? Start by listening to content that matches your level. Don't start with advanced news reports if you're still at a basic level. Find English that feels just a little challenging, but still understandable. You can listen to podcasts for English learners, YouTube videos with subtitles, English audiobooks, TV shows, or movies with easy dialogue, conversations between native speakers. But here's the key. Don't just listen passively. Listen actively. When you hear a new phrase, pause. Repeat it out loud. When you hear a question, try to answer it in your mind. Shadow the speaker. Try to say the words at the same time, like you're copying their rhythm and intonation. This technique, called shadowing, is one of the fastest ways to improve fluency. So remember, before you speak better, you must listen better. Listen, absorb, repeat. And slowly, your speaking will transform. The third strategy, practice speaking. Every day. Now let's move to our third fluency strategy. Practice speaking every single day. Every day? Yes, every single day. You see, speaking is like a muscle. If you don't use it, it gets weak. If you use it regularly, it grows stronger and stronger. Even 5 minutes a day can make a difference. The goal is not perfection. The goal is consistency. Now you might say, but I don't have anyone to speak with. That's okay. You can still practice. Here are a few ways to speak English daily, even alone. Talk to yourself. Say what you're doing. Describe your thoughts. Narrate your day. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm getting ready for work. I'm feeling tired but excited. Record yourself. Choose a topic, speak for 1 minute, and record it. Then listen back. Notice your pronunciation. Hear where you pause. Try again. Use language exchange apps. Apps like HelloTalk or Tandem connect you with real people who want to learn your language, and you can practice English with them. Speak with AI tools or tutors. Use voice features on learning apps or hire a tutor for 15 minutes a day. The point is this. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you're ready. Speak now. Today. Even a few words. Because speaking every day is how fluency is born. Even small efforts count. Your tongue gets used to English sounds. Your brain starts to build confidence. And your fear of speaking slowly disappears. So today, speak. Say 1 sentence, say it again, then say 2, then 5. That's how fluency grows, step by step. The fourth strategy, use real-life English. Here's our fourth fluency strategy. Use English in your real life. What do I mean by that? Let's say you learn a new word, like appointment. You could just write it down and move on. Or you could use it in your real life. Say, I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow. Type, can I schedule an appointment? Text a friend in English. Write a to-do list in English. The more you use English in your daily routines, the faster it becomes natural. Think of English not just as a subject you study, but as a tool you use. Use it when you write notes, you make shopping lists, you talk to customer service, you comment on YouTube videos, you search Google, you write social media posts. This turns English into something real, not just a classroom activity. Let me tell you about Fatima, a learner from Morocco. She started writing her grocery list in English. Then, she started talking to herself while cooking. Okay, now I need some salt. I'm chopping the vegetables. Soon, she started messaging friends in English, even just short sentences. And you know what happened? Her fluency skyrocketed. Why? Because she wasn't just studying English anymore. She was living in English. So today, ask yourself, how can I bring English into my real life? Start small, 1 note, 1 sentence, 1 voice message. It builds and builds. And soon, you're using English without even thinking about it. That's fluency. The fifth strategy: make English a daily habit. Now, here's the fifth and final fluency strategy. Make English a daily habit. Yes, a habit. Because fluency doesn't come from one big effort. It comes from small, regular actions done every single day. Think about brushing your teeth. You don't skip it, right? You do it daily without thinking. It's automatic. We want English to feel the same way. Natural, easy, part of your routine. So, how do you build an English habit? Start small. Just 5 minutes of listening in the morning. One new word at lunch. A short sentence spoken before bed. Make it part of something you already do. For example, listen to English while you eat breakfast. Watch a short English video while commuting. Speak English to yourself while cooking. Write a daily journal entry before sleep. And here's the magic. Don't aim for perfection. Aim for consistency. It's better to study for 10 minutes every day than 2 hours once a week. Because when you show up daily, your brain remembers more. Your confidence grows faster, and English becomes less of a challenge and more of a habit. So starting today, don't break the chain. Use English in some way every single day. Small steps every day. That's how fluency is built. Progress over perfection. Now, let's talk about something important. Progress is more important than perfection. So many learners stop speaking because they make mistakes. They freeze. They feel embarrassed. They think, I'll speak when I'm perfect. But here's the truth. Fluency is not perfection. Even native speakers make mistakes. They forget words. They correct themselves. They say, Fluency means flow, not perfection. So if you forget a word, keep going. If your grammar isn't perfect, keep going. If you pause or stutter, keep going. Because every time you try, you grow. Imagine this. You're climbing a mountain. You take one step, then another. Sometimes you slip. But you keep going. And one day, you look back, and you're amazed by how far you've come. That's your English journey. So be kind to yourself. Celebrate every small win. Every sentence spoken, every new word learned, it all counts. You're not failing, you're learning. And fluency comes to those who keep going, not those who wait until they're perfect. The power of belief. There's one final ingredient in your fluency journey. Belief. Yes, strategies matter. Practice matters. But belief, it's the fuel that keeps you moving. If you believe you can't speak English, you won't. But if you believe you can learn, slowly, surely, step by step, then nothing can stop you. Say this with me. I can speak English. I am learning every day. I am getting better. Because that belief changes your brain. It gives you courage to speak. It pushes you to practice, even when you're tired. It keeps you going when mistakes happen. So believe in your progress. Believe in your voice. Believe that you are becoming fluent. You don't need to be perfect. You only need to be persistent. Final words. Fluency is closer than you think. Let's finish with a powerful truth. Fluency is not far away. It's already beginning. Right now. Every word you listen to, every sentence you speak, every moment you spend with English, it all adds up. You're not just learning a language, you're building a future. A future where you connect with people around the world, where you can work, travel, study, and express yourself freely. And that future is closer than you think. So today, speak a little more, listen a little longer, write one more sentence. Celebrate one more step. Because every small effort brings you closer. Keep going. Keep believing. And one day, you'll look back and say, wow, I really did it. I speak English fluently, and I'll be here cheering you on every step of the way.